Hey everyone, this will be a lesson all on pentatonics and ultra pentatonics over a static minor chord. In this case we're just going to use A minor. I figured that's a good key to start in, and we're going to apply everything to an A minor chord. So just to get right into it, what a pentatonic scale is just a 5-note scale. We can derive it in a couple of different ways, but basically if we take a major scale or a minor scale, let's take a minor scale. I think it's a little bit easier to think about. If we take just a regular minor scale and we remove some of the tension notes, in this case we're going to remove 2 and 6 from the scale. So there's our 2, we're going to remove that. So we go straight to the flat 3. There's our 6, we'll remove that. So we're going to go from 5 to flat 7. So in the case of A minor, we're going to have A, C, D, E, G, A. And just like any scale, if we wanted to extend that, we would just start that pattern over again. A, C, D, E, G, A. That gives us a familiar shape I think most of us all know. And that'll sound great over top of a minor chord. I've just got I real B. Just play a little bit. Right? Everything just kind of fits just fine. There's nothing nothing wrong about it, but nothing terribly exciting about it either. And so the question I've been getting a lot from students lately, and the reason I've decided to make this video, is they've been asking about jazz pentatonics. There's really no difference. It's still a 5-note scale. We will talk about ultra pentatonics, but what jazz musicians do is they superimpose pentatonic scales over top of a static harmony, or not necessarily static harmony, it could be changes, but we're going to start with static harmony. So A minor pentatonic over top of A minor chord makes a lot of sense, but again, it's nothing, it's just the right notes. There's nothing fun about it. So what we can do is start to find pentatonics that are related to this chord. And the first one we're going to do is E minor pentatonic. Why does that work? Well, if we take E minor pentatonic, we have E is the 5th, G, which is the 7th, flat 7, A, which is our root, B, which is the 9th, D, which is the 11th, and E again, which is the 5th. So that opens up a new color tone for us, which is the 9th. And so here's our A minor again. So what I did there was I started in E minor and then eventually switched back into our A minor shape just to have it come together. And that's one thing that you want to practice, is being able to switch back and forth between these pentatonics in one position rather than going. That way you can get some coherency between the two. So one thing that I like to do is play up a scale and then play down the next one, and then do the same thing. So here's E minor, A minor. That way I can kind of see that shape work together, and I can get some fluidity, whatever word is correct, in that. Our next one, which will be our final one for just regular minor pentatonics, is starting from the 9th. And so that's going to be B in the case of A minor. So it's going to give us all of our tensions. So B is 9, D is 11, E is 5, F sharp, there's our 6th, or 13th, A, which is our root, and B is our 9th again. So again, if we turn on our little static minor chord, right? And so I ended up playing the 3 pentatonics, kind of all in one little area, and it really opens the sound up. Even though if you break it down, it's just the Dorian scale. If you combined all the notes, so all 3 of those pentatonics together, you just have the Dorian scale. But with it being pentatonic, you don't have even half steps and whole steps. There are some larger leaps, so that intervallic nature of the pentatonic scale just makes things a little bit more interesting, even if you're just kind of following line and playing one pentatonic after another, just because you have those little leaps in there. Makes things sound a little bit more interesting. Another thing that you can do with just the regular minor pentatonics before we get into altered pentatonics is doing a technique called sidestepping, which is almost exactly what it sounds like. It's where you're taking a line and moving it up a half step. Theoretically, you could move it down a half step as well. I think it's more common to hear something move up a half step and then move back down into the tonality. So let's just try that out a little bit. So if I'm in A minor, so just real briefly, just went outside the chain for a little bit, which makes a very exciting sound. It's a fairly cool technique. It's one that I wish I was a little bit better at. I think I still make it sound a little predictable, and that's how it is for when you're first starting out. You're gonna play things, and that's fine, because eventually you'll learn how to make a better line that kind of weaves in and out of the changes, and you can start to do it with will. I still have to think about it a little bit. Sometimes it does happen naturally, and I'm always real excited when it does. Just remember, anything that you practice is what's going to be coming out into your playing. And you can do that with any of these pentatonics when you're superimposing. Just for example, I'll do it again. It would change to the E minor. Right, and the same thing with B minor. Some really cool sounds that can come out of that. That's basically it for this, just the basic minor chord with just basic pentatonics. I'm going to have a follow-up video that I'm making right now that'll have all the altered pentatonics and all the things you can do with that. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.